Hey man, what's up?
Hey Brian, how you doing, man? Long time no see.
About a year.
I know, man. About a
Hey,
year.
hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Lots happened, man.
Oh yeah, congratulations. What's his
Thank you,
name?
man.
What's the boy's name?
Ronan.
What's
Ronan.
Logan?
Ronan.
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 Cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
Like the
Ronan.
Japanese, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So,
How
yeah, and
much you weigh? How much you weigh?
he was 8 pounds 2 ounces.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he was even though it was a NICU baby, I mean he ate and he was
Uh-huh.
a big boy. And man, it was traumatic. It's
Yeah.
traumatic experience watching my
Wow.
wife go through that and feeling pretty helpless. But
Uh-huh.
you know,
Wow.
yeah, all
Good.
things considered, we're good.
Good. Good. Were you in the room the whole time?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too. You
yeah,
know?
it's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a photographer, I was taking pictures. Yeah.
I can't believe they let you take pictures. Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't want to pass out because I'm not. I don't like blood. I don't like
Yeah.
cuts and stuff. And so I was like, "Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Take care of my wife." But man, yeah, it was tough. It
Yeah.
was tough.
Yeah. 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 But it's an amazing experience, you know?
Beautiful. It
Yeah.
made, I mean, it just made me think of technology and how far we've come.
Right.
I'm like 100 years ago, my baby would have died,
Right. Yeah.
maybe even
Wow.
50 years ago,
Yeah.
because the cord was wrapped around his neck a few
Wow.
times. And then during the C-section, he swallowed some meconium, some of
Right.
that. And then my wife's placenta was starting to die, which
Uh-huh.
was I don't know how they read that, but they were able to see it and
Right.
basically told her, "We're operating now, or we're going to lose the baby right now."
Wow.
And so they're scrubbing us up, and as they're sign this, do that, and then we go in and
Uh-huh.
it's just crazy, man. It was just crazy. I was like, that is this the most wild. Yeah. And then everything's okay now. And little baby, he's home now. Ronan's home. And we have three tanks set up in the house, so he can go pretty much anywhere in the house now.
Right.
And he'll just be on that as we try to wean him off for like the next couple weeks.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
no damage, no brain damage, no hearing loss, nothing. He's
Wow.
perfectly healthy other than needs some help on his lungs.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, my daughter just had a baby about 6 months ago. His name's
Wow.
Theo, you know,
Theo?
and Theo,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good one.
and stuff like that. And
Congrats.
he's going through changes now. Like she's giving him some food and she's learning what foods he's allergic to. Because
Oh
like
yeah.
he had some cheese, he broke out. He had a strawberry, he broke out, you know? So like,
Wow.
you know, lucky they got medicine that'll clear it up in like right away, you know?
Yeah. Geez. Yeah. That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
learn. You'll learn,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, my first daughter, she eats everything. Like we got really lucky because she eats everything. And then he so far isn't a fussy eater and they
Right.
both sleep. They both
Uh,
love their sleep. And so I
right.
was like, oh, thank you to the big man upstairs because I need my sleep, and these kids love to sleep. So I'm like, okay, good. Because I was gonna struggle if we had active kids that were just up all night. They
Right.
love to, yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, yeah. Her baby just tried broccoli yesterday. Oh, he hated it. Hated it, you know?
you know,
So
they told us like, yeah, as soon as they can get onto soft mushy foods, give
right,
them everything and avoid sugar
right,
because I mean I don't know if they're doing sugar, but our doctor was like avoid sugar for 2 years because
right,
it rewires their brain
right,
to it's a drug to them. It's like
right.
super powerful, and so
Uh,
they're like give them all the nasty mush stuff now so they
yeah,
can build their taste buds. So
yeah,
yeah, broccoli, that's about that time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he had no problem with mashed potatoes and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah, yeah.
That was great. I mean, it's
What about
all
sweet
great.
potatoes? Has he had sweet potatoes
Yeah,
yet?
yeah, not yet, but he
Yeah.
will. You
Oh
know.
yeah, those my daughter loves sweet potatoes, watermelon.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, and then pretty like we would let her gum on a steak, like a big piece of steak so she couldn't choke, but
Right.
she loved that.
Wow.
Loved steak. Yeah. No teeth. And she just, you know.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, congratulations on the baby. Congratulations on the new album that comes out this weekend. All we have
Yeah.
is pain, May 2nd.
Yep.
Tell me about the label that you did it with or distributed
Yeah, Samson Create Music. So man, on the record, off the record.
on the record.
On the record, always got to know what I can say and what I can't say.
Uh-huh.
So when we I was in a band a long, long time ago, and I did things through TuneCore,
Uh-huh.
and man, I don't know if I just didn't understand how it worked, but I struggled with it and I didn't
Uh-huh.
really, really love it.
Right.
And the idea of a distributor, I know I've got a couple buddies of mine that are pretty anti, that they're like, we'll just do it all of ourselves.
Right.
Me, I was like, I want some industry help and friends and get to know people. And I felt
Right.
like that was a good way to be like, hey, if you'll help us, distribute and help
Right.
our music grow, as long as the relationship was good. And I think it's fantastic with Create Music. I love them.
Uh,
SAMSA is an independent record label here in Utah that we kind of helped build and become.
right.
And I wanted to keep, obviously you want to be independent because you want to make as much money as you can. Not
Right.
not that you make a ton of money. I mean, any brand new artist that says they're raking in the dough is lying to you, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're just not. That's not the phase that we're in right now,
Right.
We're not in the money phase, we're in the building community phase. It's a startup, so yeah, I love the label, love the distribution company, and luckily I feel very fortunate that they feel very hands-on, like I'll be able to call them and talk to them and just ask questions. And Chris over there, he's one of the senior vice presidents. I love him because he's very honest with me and he'll
Right.
tell me things like, Burke, you're not big enough to worry about that problem. And
Uh-huh.
I love that because,
Right.
in
Yeah.
the music industry, you get a lot of people that just tell you what you want to hear. That's what I
Right.
really respect about him, because he'll always say, do you want the nice answer or do you want me to talk to you like a friend? And I was like,
Right.
tell me the truth. You're not big enough for this problem to ever occur right now. So don't focus on that. And one last thing I'll say. So we were going to drop the album May 1st because it's a
Right.
Friday. New Music Friday is kind of a big thing. And, I May 2nd was the day we dropped Chimerical,
Uh-huh.
1 year. And that's why
Right.
the album's coming out May 2nd. And then that's also a year from when our drummer's dad passed away.
Oh,
The
wow.
song came out for 4 or 5 hours and then he passed away. He was fighting cancer. And so for us, May 2nd just has so much weight to it. And I asked Create Music, Chris specifically, I was like, man, I want to do May 1st because it's the Friday and that's like the rules of the industry.
Right.
And he was like, you want the nice answer or do you want me to tell you like it is? And I said,
Uh-huh.
tell me like it is. And he was like, look, right now you're not doing much for the industry and the industry's not doing much for you.
Right.
Worry about your community. That's what's doing stuff for you. He's like, you guys will get to that point where it's like now influenced by the industry. The industry cares about you. The industry is, you guys are working for each other. He goes, but right now you're new. You're one
Right.
years old and you're doing great. But he was like, but right now focus on your fans and the story. And
Right. Yeah.
it was very nice and humbling to hear that, because I
Uh-huh.
think sometimes I forget, it is the music business, it's the industry, but it's also like our journey and our story, and fans connect with the story.
Right. Yeah. How difficult is it actually to break into music? Because I know how many bands I see, how many emails I get. To me, it's impossible.
You know, I'd say it's there's more of a chance than like winning the lottery, you know.
Right.
Um and I so my producer Randy, our first time going to the Grammys, he invited us. He
Right.
helped us out. And I'm not just like name dropping that. It was
Right.
the answer to that question. Is I felt like such a big imposter and felt like I could never make it here. And
Right.
then I got to hang out with like Jay Weinberg,
Right.
the ex
Uh-huh.
drummer from
Yeah.
Slipknot,
Uh-huh.
now with Suicidal Tendencies, and then met Louis Capaldi, who's not a
Uh-huh.
rock guy, but he's super famous and really cool guy. And then I met Green Day, I met Metallica, and I was like, these guys pee and poop just like me, and I
That's the
was
way I feel. Same way.
right.
I feel
I'm
the same
like,
way.
they're normal dudes with their insecurities, with their problems, guys and girls. And they just, I was like, okay, I'm not like, I don't have to produce magic or learn how to fly.
Right.
It really is, how long can you tread the water?
Right.
How
Yeah.
long can you stay in there? Because I think that's it. When we look at how many people make it, it's who can survive, who can
Right.
go the longest.
Yeah.
Because I am learning some stuff from the industry. It's like, I've got a buddy who has a six pack, and I used to always joke with him, like, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could have a six pack. And he goes, well, this is what I do. I don't eat this, I do eat this, I work out, blah, blah. And I go, that sounds like too much. I don't want a six pack.
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, it's too much work. I like a cheeseburger. I think it's
Uh-huh.
the same thing with music. Like a lot
Right.
of people are like, oh, I want to go do that. But it's like, okay, what you want to do is the fun shows. Like
Right.
everybody wants to be worshiped for an hour and play your songs in front of the crowd and
Right.
feel that. But it's like, okay, that's 1 hour out of the entire week.
Right. Yeah.
It's the unfun stuff that you don't see, the meetings, the production, the planning, the, messing with the algorithm, marketing. It's just like that's the unfun stuff. But once you understand the business side of it and the industry,
Right.
it gets less complicated because again, it's an industry, it's a
Right.
business. So it can be
Uh,
learned, it can be manipulated, it could be studied, and it can be won and it can be
right.
figured out. So
Good.
not it is hard, but I think it really depends on, the artist, their music, the work ethic,
Right.
and then relationships and how they treat people. But yeah, the more good stuff you do, the easier I think it is.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. Now, you have 12 tracks on the album. How many were released before the album came out?
7.
So that's a
Yeah,
lot.
7. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And we kind of, so, I mean, I'll tell you here, you're the first one to hear it because I love you guys. I
Uh-huh.
love you.
Uh-huh.
So I struggled with that at first because we originally had 17 tracks
Right.
and that was going to be the full album. And then we decided let's go with 12. And then we started releasing singles, I think, a
Right.
little earlier than we wanted to.
Uh-huh.
And then it was like once every 6 weeks. And I was
Right.
like, geez, Louise, that's going to be about 7 or 8 singles and then only 4 songs. So what we did is we saved, I think, two of our best songs, Drowning in the Dark and Back to You, are like our favorite ones. I'm like, let's save the most ones for that.
Right.
And then on top of that, let's give everybody a deluxe album and put those 5 songs back on
Uh-huh.
with some live stuff and possibly some demos.
Right.
So it is like if anybody felt I was very worried that people would be like, what the heck, only 5 new songs and one of them's an intro. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, I know,
Uh-huh.
but wait, there's more. So we're gonna give them, yeah, we'll give them the deluxe, and they're not throwaway songs either.
Right.
Arguably, these 4 were supposed to be singles,
Right.
but we decided to save them so that there was a little bit of something. And
Uh-huh.
then, yeah, then when the deluxe album comes out, there will be 5 additional, at least 5 more songs. That should have been on the album, but we decided to wait.
Right. Right. Have you read any reviews yet, or there's no reviews come in yet?
Not yet. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing on the album. Just, I mean, not any publicized reviews. I've had people that we've sent it to that have told us what they think.
Right.
And it's been really humbling in a cool way that everybody loves it. That it's like
Right.
this is a no skip album. So
Right.
I'm like, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for the reviews. I don't
Yeah.
it's just so exciting.
Uh, well, I definitely agree. It wasn't really a bad track on the album. It was hard
Sweet.
actually picking a newer song because the other ones I heard, so I can't make them my favorites because they
Just yet.
already my favorites,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, my favorite song is Bruises.
Bruises. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Now, when we first met, I don't think Bruises was out yet, right?
No,
We didn't have that one.
nope,
No.
I just
Yeah.
heard. Yeah,
Cool. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Bruises
love
is
that song. I
it's a
love
good
that song.
song.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I wrote Bruises after a really, really bad break. I'd gotten divorced and then I dated this girl that I just thought was the one, and boy, was I wrong.
Right,
And then I called up Jesse and I said, man, I've got this killer hook and chorus. I just need help on a verse because I don't like my verses. My verses just don't grab.
right,
And I sent him my demo. 5 minutes later, he goes, I don't know. I just came up with this. What do you think? And I
right.
heard the melody and I was like, that's it. That's what I've been waiting for. We wrote some lyrics and boom, song was done. So I love Bruises.
So you said you originally wrote 17 tracks for this and 12 came out. What do you do
Yeah.
with the other tracks that are left over?
So those are going to be on the deluxe album. Those
Okay,
ones we are going to release them. I think all but I think all but two have been mixed and mastered and ready to go.
right,
Um, yeah, and there was one in particular that everybody loved, but it didn't fit the All We Have Is Pain theme.
right,
Um, it's a really cool song. And then there's 2 others that we're a little bit outside the musicality of All We Have Is Pain.
Right.
They're definitely more experimental, but I love them very much. Like, I don't know, if Tool was to ever do hip hop with my voice, that's what it felt like. Where I'm like, oh, these are interesting chord progressions. These are like, yeah, I think people would appreciate the musicality of the deluxe versions. So we'll have at least five, maybe six coming back.
So is everything with the band done independently with hands-on, even cover everything?
Yeah, so you mean like artwork and
Yeah,
all that
everything.
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So everything, I'm trying to think. Yeah, writing, all the songs are always written by me and Jesse, at least for this first album and the deluxe. We'll see
Uh-huh.
about album two. But I have a very big, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know?
Right. Uh-huh.
And Jesse and I just work very well together and write very well together, and it's fun. We don't do any AI. I have a whole separate topic about AI. I
Right.
respect it, and I think it makes sense for some people. It's just not something I want to do, you know?
Right.
Like for me, I'm like, oh, I like writing and I like the puzzle. I like the struggle, you know?
Right.
I think it's a
Uh-huh.
great, really cool tool if you know you're in a pinch and you need it. Um, but for us, I'm like, I have too many stories to tell to need AI yet, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So Jesse and I write all the songs, and then once we figure out like because we wrote for this album, 17 was the ones that were finished, that were done, that were mixed, that we loved. There was
Right.
over 50 songs that we wrote.
Uh-huh.
So from over 50 to 17, we'll write the songs, then we'll give it to our producer, and he'll kind of say like, "Oh, this is awesome," or "Let's tweak this," or whatever, and then we'll go back, tweak it, then we record like kind of a demo, then
Right.
we give it to the full band. And
Uh-huh.
if everybody in the band is unanimous, that's the hard part.
Uh-huh.
Everybody has to agree on the song.
Right.
There's if there's one person that's like I'm just not feeling it, gets cut. And that's
Uh,
very
yeah.
hard to do because you're
Wow.
like, "Oh, this is my baby." But we're like, "Hey, if one guy in the own band doesn't see it, how
Right.
hard is it going to be to ask our fans to see it? You
Right.
know?"
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's helped us kind of just, between me and Jesse, if it leaves me and it doesn't leave me and Jesse, it doesn't get to the producer and it doesn't get to
Right.
the band. And so
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like we make sure we send our best stuff. And then from there, we had Zach Cervini mix half the album and Neil Avron. Zach
Uh-huh.
Cervini's Bring Me the Horizon,
Right.
Halsey, like all those, a little bit heavier, and then Neil Avron, a Fall Out Boy, Linkin Park. So we
Right. Yeah.
had we picked which ones that we wanted, like,
Right.
oh, I think Neil would be perfect for that, Zach would be perfect for this. So we made sure it was our best work before we gave it to them. And then like on Bruises, you'll hear the orchestra. We had
Right.
30 members, or yeah, a 30-piece orchestra made up from the LA Philharmonic and one guy from the New York Philharmonic.
Uh-huh.
And watching them just
Yeah.
mind blowing,
Yeah.
mind blowing. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen with music. So yeah, everything in-house to answer your question.
Uh,
Artwork, same thing. We all decide, and it's a unanimous decision between us four, and that's I
uh,
think very hard. But we're at a place as a band where we just love and respect each other and have similar tastes. So if we all love it, then
mhm.
it's a go.
Now, will this come out on vinyl?
Yes,
Uh,
CD and vinyl. Yes.
will you have any kind of bundle package where people could get everything and maybe some autographs and everything?
Yeah, so we're gonna do CDs, we're gonna do vinyls, and then we're gonna do some merch rollouts, bundles where it's like, hey, get a signed, shirt, CD, vinyl,
Right.
poster, all that stuff rolling out within the next 3 months is what we're looking at. Says we were gonna do a big album show, and then this happened with my wife and my baby.
Uh,
And as much as it killed me to just hold up, we were about to announce it like that weekend. And
right.
then we are like, okay, let's pause real quick. And luckily everybody in the band are dads, and they're like,
Uh,
"Burke, you're gonna need some time to
yeah.
adjust." And I was like, "No, I got it. Music first, music first." And they're like, "Just relax. You're gonna need some time." So we're gonna push out our debut album release show probably till mid-June, end June, or beginning of July.
Uh,
So during that time, we'll announce the bundles, the new merch, the new um, cool stuff that we're trying to do. Because yeah, CDs are like making a comeback, man. I've had people reach out and be like, "Do you guys have CDs?" And I was like, "CDs?
uh,
No." And they're
yeah.
like, "Well, you should get some." And so now I'm
Uh,
like, "All right, we're getting CDs." So we
yeah.
will have physical CDs and vinyl.
I don't know what's up with CDs. There's not in the cars no more in the car. There's none on your computer at home, no
No.
CD-ROMs, you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know where it's getting played,
Yeah.
but they love them. And
Uh,
it might just be nostalgia. It might just be something that they grab and, put on a wall or something,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you happy that vinyl came back?
It's kind of weird. I never had a vinyl in my whole life. Never. Like it's so some people are all about it, like just like Frank Zoo loves
Right.
vinyls.
Uh,
I'm like, I never owned one.
right.
I'm not one way or the other. My thing was cassettes. I used to record like a disc jockey back in
Uh-huh.
the day
Right. Yeah.
and tape stuff, and then I would write my playlists. And then when CDs came out, Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park, that was the first album I ever owned. And I
Uh-huh.
used to have a little Sony Discman, like a Walkman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
and you can't
Uh-huh.
move, otherwise it skips.
Yeah.
So I would just be like walking like this and
Uh-huh.
holding the CD. So yeah, vinyl. I think it's cool. I definitely want one of
Right.
my own stuff, but yeah, kind of indifferent to it.
Now, tell me, tour plans. You said later in the year you're going to go on tour and stuff. Will you do the whole country or are you just staying out where you are?
No, we're doing Georgia. It's our first arena show, which is a very, very unique thing to say because we focused on college radio this
Uh-huh.
last year
Right.
and getting our name out there and made some really good contacts. And
Right.
so some colleges have reached out, some universities like, hey, we have a um, graduation at this time and this thing, and it's for 10,000 people. Would you guys want to come play it? We want
Right.
Allbrook Station. And so we have one of those in Georgia, two of them actually in Georgia, 10,000 each night, which is the most people I've ever played for and been booked to play for in my life, which is really cool. And then we're kind of building that. We're building a catalog of colleges to go and play pretty much all over the US. And
Right.
then I love cruises. I don't know if you've ever been on cruises or played cruises or seen rock shows on cruises.
Yeah.
Love them.
Uh-huh.
And so I met, yeah, I used to get booked from when I was doing solo stuff. And so that's coming back. And so some of those are in Mexico, Bahamas, one to Europe. So I love those ones. Obviously it's very pricey to come see us play those, but it's a cruise. So it's like, hey,
Right.
if you love us and you love cruises, why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the last step is booking agents. That is my biggest struggle right now is
Uh-huh.
booking agents and how that all works. That whole thing scares me, man. Booking
Right.
agents is just it's just so weird. And we're kind of in this weird thing. Like our live shows are awesome and amazing, but
Right.
it's like you need a history of them.
Uh-huh.
For most booking agents, they want to see, okay, that's awesome that you guys sold 300 or 400 tickets
Uh-huh.
for your shows, but how many nights in a row can you do that? How many, it
Right.
it makes sense, but it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, we're brand new. We've
Right.
played
Yeah.
a handful of shows as Allbrook Station. And I was like, as individually, we've played for 10 years. All of
Right.
us have played for 10 years of shows, so we get how the show works. But anyway, yeah, that's the next step is solid booking agents. So our next big show, the one for the debut album, is when we're inviting, the important VIPs to come hear us and be like, hey, get some booking agents here just to
Right.
come see the magic live and be like, yeah, we need to book these guys, put them on a tour,
Right.
whatever. So yeah, that's the next step. Now that we have something to tour with and we have
Right.
songs, now we can do it.
Okay. Will there be a new video coming?
Yes. So we had a part one. I don't know if you caught that. It was the making of.
Uh-huh.
And that video, you should watch it. It's a 6-minute video of part one of the making of the album.
Uh-huh.
Part two is coming out. And part two, a little teaser of it is where album one was how we made the album, or sorry, part one was how we made the album.
Right.
Part two is how the album made us
Right.
during that time. So since we last met,
Uh-huh.
our drummer Nate is now going through chemo, the one that lost his dad to cancer. While we were making the album, Junior or Frank Zoo, we call him Junior, but Frank Zoo and Jesse's brother had a heart attack, died several
Wow.
days later.
Uh-huh.
My wife and I had a miscarriage before our firstborn, and then had this experience. We had a couple of sour deals that happened. We just had some crazy, crazy experiences, and through all of it, I think it brought it brought us as a band way closer than I ever thought we'd be. And it helped us just really focus on like, hey guys, if we're gonna do this, like we need to respect it and take it seriously and do it. Like we've poured too much into it to ever look back and not keep going.
Is is there any country you'd like to play live in? That's
Brazil,
particular? Yeah,
Brazil and Japan.
yeah, definitely Japan.
See, so my top three would be Japan, Brazil, and Germany. Germany spins, and then fourth would be Australia. Germany spins us a ton right now. I'm like, I love you guys, Germany. Shout out to Germany for
Uh,
still rocking with rock music.
uh,
So I'd want to go there because I know we have fans there. I'd
right,
want to do Brazil because of Rock in Rio. It's been a dream
right,
of
yeah,
mine. Rock in
yeah,
Rio would just be amazing. Any spot, I'm like, Rock in Rio, hit us up, any spot.
right.
And then Japan because the culture, the sushi, the anime. I love Japan. And then Australia because Australia's spinning us a lot. We have fans in Australia, which is really cool.
Getting back to the birth of your son, what was the first thing you thought of or said to your wife that about the baby during that time?
Sorry, say that one more time.
When, the birth of your son
Mhm.
started, was there any emotion or
Oh
what was
yeah,
going
yeah.
through your mind?
Yeah, man. So, one, it was traumatic because we had within 10 minutes, like making the decision, she's on the operating table. And I, one, get very queasy. Two, like any man that sees their significant other, their spouse in pain,
Right,
and you're helpless and you can't do anything, it's like that's the worst feeling in the world.
right,
It's like I can't help you. I can't,
right,
I can't even touch you. I can't do anything. And I got really emotional because I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen to my wife. I don't know what's gonna happen to my son.
right,
And but I had enough, I don't know, enough strength to just hide and mask any fear, any whatever, because I don't want my wife seeing it.
right,
And she's brave, man. She was just strong, determined, was like, hey, we could do it. Like I got this, let's do it. I'm freaking out, but I couldn't show her that. And
right.
so as we're behind the curtain and they're doing the C-section, my wife just says, tell me a story. Tell
Huh?
me something. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, shoot, I didn't prepare anything. And so I just, my 2-year-old and we finished all of Harry Potter from late October to early February, all 7 books, reading every night. And so now we're
Uh-huh.
on The Hobbit. We're on The Hobbit now. So that
Okay.
was the only thing that came to mind is let me tell you where my daughter, where our daughter and I are at in reading The Hobbit. And so I'm like telling my daughter or telling my wife about The Hobbit as she's getting sawed and cut open. And then the doctor says, okay, we're 2 more minutes and he should be out. The whole process took like 4 minutes, but he
Wow.
says 2 more minutes, we're halfway. And so I'm just talking to her, I'm, petting her hair.
Uh,
And then he says, okay, baby's out. And it's like dead silent. And it feels like an eternity that it's just quiet. And then we're just like, come on, like make a noise. Cause they had told
yeah.
us that he could code,
Uh-huh. Right.
C-section and be
Yeah.
prepared. And so we're just waiting. And all of a sudden we hear this big,
Cool.
and he starts
Yes.
crying. And so
Yes.
I just start bawling my eyes out because I'm like, oh, he made it. He made it.
Uh,
And so then the doctor goes, hey, you want to see your baby? And he holds him over and there's like blood dripping down.
yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, you want to meet him? And we're like, hey, dude. And then boom, he's gone. And then we didn't see
Wow.
him again
Yeah.
for
Uh,
6 hours. And then he's life flighted out and in the NICU for, 9 days. So that was crazy. But
yeah.
yeah, that was the cool moment there.
Yeah. Definitely an experience.
Yeah.
I remember me slapping my wife in the back, push, push, right? You know, and I wanted to
Yeah.
get it out because it was December 30th. It would be perfect for taxes.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. That's
So my
awesome.
wife calls her tax baby,
That's hilarious.
you
That's
know?
funny.
So
Yeah,
it was
that's
December
funny.
30th, you know?
Wow, that's
So
great.
very good. So, Burke, congratulations on
Thank you.
the baby and the new album. All we have is Pain, May 2nd release. Make sure you pick it up. Pick up the bundle when they play live. Check it out. Allbrook Station. And thanks a lot for chatting with me once again after a year's
This will be an annual thing,
silence,
man.
you
Once
know?
a year, we do it. We get back together and remind me where you guys are located again, because
We're
once we get
we're we're in New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay, we play
Right?
New Jersey, you are there. Tickets comped, you family, you're there, because
Cool.
you've been here since day one, man. So
Yeah.
we got to take
Yep.
care of you when we get to New Jersey.
Cool plan. We'll work on them guitar picks for you too. You
Yes, I'm
know,
excited about that. Yeah.
that
Do you guys make
that
guitar picks?
I do certain, not a lot, like, but I mean, bands I like, I offer
Yeah,
them. You know,
I
so
appreciate that. Okay, let's talk
definitely
about it.
cool. So, would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Yeah. One, uh, I used to say life is short, and then my
Right,
producer Randy would always anytime we had decisions, he'd always say it's a long life, and I
right,
was like, of the two, I like that one better. It's a long life, and every day that you wake up, you get 24 hours to decide what you want to do with that day and what type of life you want to live, what type of person. And for me, I wanted to make sure that with this album, when I'm dead and gone, there's something that the world can look back and be like, man, Burke gave his all on this album. And
right.
I left it all on the table, went into debt, did a bunch of crazy stuff for this
Uh-huh.
album. And it's because I wanted to make a difference in the world, really, truly. I know a lot of people say, like, oh, make a difference, whatnot. Like, no, I wanted to leave something. I
Right.
wanted to do what Linkin Park did to me. I wanted to do that for other people. So listen to the album and see what you connect with and feel, and hopefully it inspires you to just live a long life.
Thanks a lot, Burke. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
thanks, Brian. Hey, man,
All right.
God bless. Take care.
You
Talk to you
too.
soon.
Later.
See ya.